It was the first day of summer after the hardest semester of my life, and I was determined to have the best time ever. It was going to be fun and relaxing, and I woke up ready to make this day great. The best way to start any day, in my humble opinion, is getting Dunkin', so that's where I headed. I headed to get some coffee and to head into work, and as I was doing so, I went to turn left at a green turn arrow, and a car ran a red light and hit me. I know it sounds cliche, but the time period between the car coming at me and hitting my vehicle felt like a lifetime. My car spun, and I felt glass in my hair, and all I could see was the white of my airbags. The most unforgettable part, however, was the fact that I couldn't breathe. It felt like there was too much air in my lungs and I couldn't possibly take any more. I, in the heat of the moment, thought that my lung had been punctured. I tried to scream for help, but nothing came out. Finally, two ladies from the car wash came over and they helped me out of my vehicle, and I sat on the curb and I sobbed. I thought of all the hard work I'd put into my car. I had worked for almost a year to pay it all off. I'd finally done so, and I'd put in even more money into fixing it up and making it the best car I could. And all of that was taken away from me, and it wasn't even my fault. After I calmed down, a man at the scene of the accident let me use his phone. I called my mom, and she didn't pick up the first, second, or third time. So then I went and I called my dad, and he also didn't pick up. I thought to myself, this is just about the worst time for them to ignore my phone calls. Finally, after hearing my voicemail that I left sobbing, my dad finally called me back and he told me everything's gonna be okay. I'm on my way, and all that matters is that you are okay. Next 20 minutes are a blur. I remember talking to my manager, a police officer, and somebody from the ambulance, and all I remember saying is that it's not my fault and I didn't do anything wrong, and I didn't want anybody to be mad at me. It's a lot for a teenager to process, the fact that even doing one of the most mundane tasks in everyday life, that life can end just like that. I was just trying to drive to work, and my life was almost taken from me. Finally, after sitting there for 20 minutes, I heard a police officer yelling at a vehicle who was trying to get onto the scene of the accident. And that man was my dad. He just looked at me and he laughed and he said, well, at least we don't have to fix your brake pads. And I remember just smiling and laughing. And even though that was one of the most traumatic days of my life, all I think of when I think about it is my dad and how he knew just the right way to calm me down and to make me smile.